Townsend.
Here.
Hawk is absent. Williams present. Malcolm.
Here.
Bat. Present.
All right, thank you. There's no one here for public comment, so we'll move on to item 3, consent agenda. You've got claims, month-end reports, and minutes there for your approval and review. And if there's no, we just need.
Did somebody go in and I just forgot me. I apologize. I have not signed it.
It's okay.
Okay. We are just looking for approval of consent agenda items A through C.
Move to approve consent agenda items A through C.
Is there a second?
I did have one question on the claims, if that's what we're at the stage on. Page 9, first maker space, 26,627.
Yes, I'm glad you asked about that. So we're very excited. We were able to receive our bond proceeds on Thursday of last week. So one of the big portions of the bond that we were talking about for the spring was to update some of our STEM spaces. So we have a partnership with, I apologize.
First maker.
First Makerspace, and that's like the premier organization that brings in STEM equipment into schools. So what we're looking at is to revamp the entire STEM lab. So one of the biggest things here at Wes-Del that we have a really big push on right now is our STEM, so science, technology, engineering, math, and we're seeing a lot of growth in that area. Mr. Lamb has done a really good job. It's super creative in there. We have everything from little robots to spheros to 3D printers, all kinds of things. So we're trying to really support the program that's doing a really good job in the district. And not that we're not doing a great job everywhere, but I think that our STEM is really shining really brightly. So I want to put money into that space.
So what's the overall project cost on something like that?
Yeah, so we had to put in some seed money to start to get the project up and running. It was about $26,000 to begin with. The overall project's gonna be about $105,000 to $115,000 in total.
Good.
Okay. Larry made the motion to approve those items A through C. Is there a second?
Second.
Any further discussion? All right, all those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, that has been approved. Moving on to new business and employment. Item A, some additional appropriation. You want to discuss?
Yes. Give me 1 second. Okay, so we are going to seek an additional appropriation for $391,634, and the reason for this is we're not asking for additional money. We're asking to be able to spend more money. So this is basically we receive our debt service payments through our tax draws twice a year. We basically have received all the money, but we had an issue where we had 2 payments that took place in June that the transaction needed to take place in June. The issue we run into is we have Old National as a holding company. Sometimes we'll send a payment to Old National and it'll sit there for 2 or 3 days, and then it'll throw it into the month of July. The only issue we're into is we only had so much appropriated during this calendar year, so we exceeded that because we had to push payments into this year. So moving forward, I've worked with Ms. Weitzel to make sure we don't have issues like this moving forward, and trying to pay the bank instead of going to the paying agent. So trying to figure out how we can sidestep this.
Okay.
So
Being proactive rather than reactive.
exactly. So what we have to do is we have to go through this hearing, and then with approval that I can reappropriate it. It's not that we're spending extra money. It's just it's giving us capacity to spend the money we already have in the bank.
Okay. So we just need a motion to approve the recommendation of Mr. Stover for additional appropriation.
I motion.
Is there a second?
Second.
Any further discussion? All right, all those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, the motion has been approved. Going on to item B is employment. There are several recommendations. Any additional comments on anything?
Technology issues right now? Okay.
Okay.
No, so we're just looking at National Honor Society advisor, a new middle school baseball coach, and we do have a new area on here. It's called Impact Coaches. With our new approved contract, teacher contract, we approved those 3 positions, and they're working at the elementary to help make impacts on the kids. So those are 3 new positions that we're seeing. So we're appreciative that we have those roles in place.
Okay. We are just looking for a motion to approve the employment recommendations.
Motion?
Is there a second? All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? The employment consent agenda items A through J have been approved. Non-certified employee salary and benefit proposal.
Yeah, so I have a proposal for the 2025-26 non-cert support staff composition plan. And one thing that I wanted to do as I stepped in this role is to make sure our employees are being compensated based on the jobs they're working. We have a lot of tremendous employees here, and unfortunately, being a small school, we're kind of off the mark in comparison to local schools. So one thing that I wanted to work on is to, try to get them as close within the region based on hourly rates and salaries. So with that being said, my ask is that generally the vast majority of these positions is 5%. There are a few outliers because the compensation was so much lower than what it should have been. But I feel like at this time, this is the 5% raise is really good for our employees. Obviously, we appreciate them a lot, and if I had 15%, I'd go to 15%. It's just not in the cards right now, but we certainly appreciate everybody. And so 5% across the board. And what we'll do is we'll make that in effect in our second pay in January. And the reason I say that is as we transition into the 2026 year, we have to end cap the actual our books. So Ms. Weitzel's working her tail end off, but this will provide us time to make sure everybody has adequate salary, benefits, and everything. So it takes a little bit of time. We don't have a lot of people in the central office. Ms. Weitzel and I will work through this, but we want to make sure it's right.
All right, thank you. We're seeking a motion to approve the non-certified employee salary and benefit proposal. Is there a motion?
I make a motion.
Is there a second?
I need to abstain.
Okay,
Yes, thank you.
I motion.
okay. Any further discussion?
How does that work out on our set amount appropriations that we've already established with this here bump and increase?
Okay, yeah, very good question. So we haven't received our 1782 notice yet. So 1782 notice should be coming in the next week or so. And basically that's approval from the state saying, hey, you can appropriate this amount in each one of the funds. If we see an increase, especially right now, because this is typically the time that we do collective bargaining or see raises, then I would just reach out to my DLGF, our DLGF rep, to look at that and make sure we appropriate enough money. Because always the fear is, you exceed that appropriation, but based on the appropriation we have, it will be able to absorb it, but we'll double check once we get the 1782 notice. So we have enough money to spend.
All right, any other questions, comments? If not, we just need to vote. So all those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? That has been approved. All right, item D, Frozen Junior Drama ECA stipends.
Yes. So this is a little unorthodox, but for those of you that had the opportunity to go see the Frozen Junior play, wonderful job. And this same crew helped out with our choir and band concert last week. So basically what I'm asking is that they could take $500 a piece for the amount of time they worked after hours to be able to compensate compensate themselves back. This would be the only way we could do it through a board approval, because just to make sure that the community knows where the funds are coming from. Their fund is healthy. They've done a really good job. And typically you see this in athletic accounts at times. Like if a coach runs a summer camp, it's a good way for them to compensate themselves for the time they put in. So I just thought it'd be a good gesture to give Emma, Becky, and Emily all $500 for their time they put on the play.
Okay, thank you. We just need a motion to approve the drama ECA stipends for Miss Taylor, Miss Fulton, Miss Love.
I'll make that motion.
Is there a second?
Second.
Any discussion?
Well worth it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion is approved. All right, we've got some donations to recognize. Now my computer's not moving.
I got you here.
Oh, no, here we go. Okay, sorry. We have donations. We have an $800 donation towards the robotics competition from Mr. Mike Dowling. $500 towards the elementary backpack food program from Mr. Larry Batt. $250 donation towards the archery club from Mr. Larry Batt. $250 towards the trap shooting club from Mr. Larry Batt. $24 towards the elementary backpack food program from Willow Brown and family. I don't believe there's any. Do we need to approve the donations?
Yeah, we'll
Okay.
approve it. He'll have to abstain since.
Right. Okay, sorry. So we are just looking for a motion to approve those donations.
Motion.
Is there a second?
Second.
Any discussion on those?
Thank you.
Yes.
Yeah,
Very much.
we always appreciate those.
Thank you, Larry.
All right, so all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Donations are approved. Thank you very much, everyone. And then we move on to superintendent's report.
Yeah, we have a number of things. Since we pushed the board meeting back a little bit, I've encapsulated some of November just because we kind of missed some of the end of November happenings. But one of the biggest ones is Todd Reagan. For those that are watching that aren't aware, but Mr. Todd Reagan was selected as the Indiana Association of School Principals Principal of the Year for the entire state of Indiana. That's incredible. That shows, one, Mr. Reagan's rapport with all the principals in the state, but really the culture he's developed within the school, the outcomes we're seeing within the school. We're very blessed to have Mr. Reagan here.
Yeah.
The second one is the Warrior Wishes. Ms. McFalls, our athletic secretary, came up with this idea. She'll probably be mad that I brought her name up with this, but this is the first year we've done it. Thank you to everybody that's donated. That's hygiene items, household items, cleaning products, all kinds of different things, even Christmas staple foods like ham, turkey, all the things. It's been tremendous. We had a number of families that reached out that had specific needs. We had a ton of people come out of the woodwork to donate to this. I'm talking thousands and thousands of dollars. We had the entire hallway leading into the athletic office completely full of items. So I appreciate everybody that's donated towards that to make other people's lives a lot better during the holiday. So we certainly appreciate that. Our winter band and choir concert was an absolute success. Choir concert was over maximum capacity, which is 404 people, and we had standing room in the back, and then it spilled over into the cafetorium, which is incredible, and we had a live stream in the cafeteria for people to watch that couldn't make it into the auditorium. So our band and choir areas are doing extremely well, and that also plays into that drama area. For a small school, it's unparalleled what we're doing right now. The production values. So I'm very impressed with everything I'm seeing with that. We also had the Betty Clark Foundation. We handed out the awards on Tuesday afternoon. Of those awards, we had 17 educators submit a grant application. We had $175,000 in asks. And unfortunately, or fortunately, we had $75,000 to give out. So we had to, make some decisions and figure that out. But it's truly incredible. Betty Clark's legacy is living strong. It's remarkable for a school to have a foundation like this, where it's hopefully it's going to be here forever, and it builds its own interest, and that's what we give out. So really remarkable, and I appreciate all the teachers that have put a lot of time into that. They took their own time to write grants that are going to better their kids in their classroom. So that's incredible. We have everything from media, cameras. Miss Stanley beside me we're looking at some pottery and art supplies, which will really help our art area. All the way down to elementary. We had literacy asks, like for books, level reading books. We had special needs teachers finding adaptable bicycles to kind of help kiddos out in the classroom. Some really remarkable things. So I want to commend everybody on that. Also, one thing I do want to say is for the community watching right now, we are going to change our board location. Our board location will go back to the central office, which is at 10290 North 600 West, Gaston. It's right out by the high school. So I just want to give everybody a heads up on that. Our meeting date, I want to make sure I have this correct. January 8th will be our meeting date. That would be the second, because the first Thursday would be the first would be Thursday. The second Thursday would be the 8th. Is there any conflicts with the board on that?
No.
The reason I say that is I'll have a board calendar that we can approve during that meeting. So I just want to make sure we have this meeting established for the community to know, and then we'll have an approval for the year moving forward. And then the last thing I have is in the month of January, we do have some school board meetings a little bit different. So what we have is we have the board organization requirements. So we're going to have to reestablish our president, vice president, secretary within 30 days of the term. So that'll be on the January 8th board meeting. We would also need to appoint a treasurer of the board. For a disclaimer for the board, with new legislation, board members may receive not to exceed 10% of the lowest starting salary of teachers employed in the school district. So I want the board to know that. So what we're seeing right now is we have, it'd have to be a board policy that would be approved, but board members in the state of Indiana now have the opportunity for 10% of the lowest starting teacher salary. In addition to, you can also receive the maximum per diem of $150 per regular meeting and $75 for other meetings. So I just want to let the board know. And in addition to that, we also have the Board of Finance meeting, which will take place in January. And what I typically do for the Board of Finance meeting is we'll just have two board meetings. We'll do Board of Finance first, and then we'll roll into our regular board meeting. For that meeting, what I'm going to do is provide the board updates with all of our finances. I will show everybody our DUOB report, which is Distress Units Appeal Board, of which tells us our fiscal indicators and where the district's going based on finances. And I will also reflect on investment policies and overall financial condition of the district. So during that time, we'll have those updates.
That'll be before the 6 p.m. meeting.
Well, no, so yeah, very good question. What we'll do is we'll just keep it at 6 p.m. Okay. We'll start the meeting at 6. We'll do Board of Finance. It might take half an hour, 45 minutes. We'll stop there, then we'll reopen it. So what I'll do is on the board pack, we'll have two meetings. One will say 6, and then the next one I'll probably just put it at 6:45 just to be safe. What we'll do is we'll go through the entire protocol. We'll do the Board of Finance, and then we'll go through everything else, because we'll have to vote the board members in everything. So we'll do that during the second board meeting.
Anything else?
That is it.
Lots of good stuff. Thank you very much. Board comments. Larry?
I'd like to congratulate Mr. Reagan on his accomplishment. I seen Santa was up on the elementary school the other day. I thought that was pretty neat. Yeah. And then I was wanting to think, there's a lot of people that, and I don't know all of them, but the weather's been tough this year so far, and I think it's maintenance and the bus drivers and custodians. I mean, it makes everybody's job harder. The teachers getting here, I would just like to thank everybody for for putting in the work and getting it done.
Absolutely. I leave to go to work. I come by here about 5:30. And when the snow's out there, there's people out there working, clearing. So,
It's hard all the way around on everybody.
Yep.
Yeah, and I can vouch for it, Larry. You're absolutely right. Brian and Jeremy at times come here at 3 a.m., 2 a.m. They'll work. And when I talked to Jeremy, he didn't realize that, hey, I was like, hey, you can kind of hedge your time. If you come in at 3, you don't have to stay until 4 o'clock. And he's like, really? So he's been working 14-hour days on these. So that's a reality we're dealing with. And that incredible people, they're working their tail ends off. And the same thing with bus drivers, because it's a sheet of ice out there at times, and it's super dangerous, and it's 5:30 warming those buses up.
I'm sure all that salt and everything's getting drug into school. It makes it harder. I mean, there's way more than I can even imagine, but I'd just like to make sure everybody knew that they was appreciated, and they're doing it. So.
A couple of things. It was mentioned earlier about the choir. Middle school choir with Emily Love went out to where my dad happens to be at. It's Morrison Woods Assisted Living, and they greatly appreciate that. And that just represents the school system as far as going out to the community, and they did a wonderful job. And so that was neat to see. Another thing on a sad note, we lost I could say a legend, Bill Robinson. It was neat to see the services here. The Thanksgiving weekend, a lot of people were committed to go somewhere, and the amount of people that showed up really showed the impact he did. So, yep.
he's a great man. It wouldn't be anything to run into him at Meyer, and you would stand there and talk to him a good 10, 15 minute minimum. I mean, he was so energetic. He was a good man. You're right.
And that's where I saw him after, football wise.
Yep.
I mean, 3 or 4 times, right there he is.
Yep.
And then you go around the aisle there, and he's talking to somebody else.
Yep.
So,
and his introduction was always, "Hey, how you doing?" He was a great man, good man.
Yep.
That was well brought up. I attended the band concert and just simply impressed. You can see the transition of the improvements grade by grade. And then they did a little jazz jam session. It was legit great. It was very impressive. So that's good to see. Something extracurricular like that doing what it's doing. So
Continues to be a lot of great stuff going on, and everything you mentioned, I echo the same. I did go down and attend the presentation for Mr. Reagan, and the amount of staff and support he had was just amazing between the family and the teachers that went down. The smallest school there, and by far the most people there to support. So it was really, truly special to see that, and much deserved for his credit. And again, we have a lot of great things, great people, and we continue to look to see how we can do things better. And I love the Warrior Wishes. Is that going to be something ongoing? So
Yes.
we can, okay, great, great.
I'll speak for Verdi, yes.
Yeah.
And I'll help out if need be, but yes, it was
So make sure the
incredible.
community knows that this is not just a holiday thing, and it's around for the future too.
Yes,
Yeah.
I love it. So yes, I'd like to see this stay for long term.
Great, lots of caring people in the community, and love it. So, all right, well, if there's nothing else, we will move to adjourn. I need a motion.
Motion to adjourn.
Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? The meeting is adjourned. Thank you very much.